Hello everyone in NFL 5. I just wanted to make a quick video here. Just based on the rules, looked like there was a lot of confusion on quote unquote timing point for yardage. And I want you guys to understand that there's no timing point for yardage. You calculate yardage. So after you've done player designation, and you've designated your two players, which is part of a timing point. You do your back and forth, offense, defense, back and forth. After you choose your designated players, then you will go into just a calculating phase. This has nothing to do with mechanics of the game or any type of open window. There's not an open window to go back and forth and do any of this stuff, right? So this is how it goes. And forgive me for not being too prepared, but I need to grab let's go with the locals, I think. The sharpen focus, speed kills. We just kind of look at those cards as well. So we can take a look at these guys also to help you understand. And I believe this guy. Let's just okay. And let's say Russell Wilson. Yeah. All right. So here's our scenario, right? We have Russell Wilson with a power up. We have our AJ Brown and Noah Fant. Defense, we got Miles or Denzel Ward here, and then we have Patrick Surtain. So in this particular scenario, we will say that we end up playing on offense a successful medium pass for 40. Now, it's a successful medium pass for 40. Now, during on-field adjustments, I can choose to sharpen focus or speed kills. So if I were to do this, we're talking 40, I lose 10, right? And then double that, so it'd be 80. So basically I lose 10, I go back here, and then we're talking I can go 80 yards, which 80 yards would put me here at the 5, right? Now, if this was the scenario and I chose Noah Fant, would give me an extra 10 yards. So 80, I would go 80 plus 10, and then Russell Wilson has a power up attached that says, if this is the only QB on the field, you get an additional 10 yards. Now, for this specific power up, Russell Wilson does not need to be energized for this ability to attach. It's a floating ability that's there. Now, if Noah Fant had something like hit the hole, which gives you an extra 5 yards, he would have to be energized for that to work. It's stamped receive ability, so it's just like a receive effect. It has to be ready for it to trigger. So in this case, we gone back 10 yards, then we get our double effect from speed kills. That makes it 80, then 90, 100. So we're at 100 yards in total, which will put us through the end zone. Now, the defense would add up what we have, which is minus 15. The receiver does not have a power up, so minus 15. So that put us at 85. Now, the perfect thing is that I am here. That puts me 85, which gets me into the end zone. That's would be my final yardage numbers. Okay. So just remember, you'll basically take modifiers like speed kills and double this, right? Now, it will work just a tad bit differently if, let's see if I still have, juke. Let's see if I don't have like an old deck that actually used to run juke. Nope, not in that one. Again, sorry for not being prepared. been a long time since I actually had a deck with a juke, and I don't have just a just a deck that doesn't have like speed kills and all this stuff, because obviously those are more go-to. This is a really old deck. There's a don't believe either. I'm pretty sure there's not like a deck in here that actually has juke anymore. I'm pretty sure I got rid of it. You know what? I think if I still have the Cowboys, yeah, I do. I think they may have a juke in here. Of course not. Okay, so anyways, back to over here. If it was a juke, these two are the only ones that specifically double the yardage on this. But if this card was a juke, juke says you only gain 10 additional yards. So you would add juke up. So you take your 40 plus juke of 10, that's 50. Noah Fant is 60. And then we've got our 70 with the power up. So we go 70 minus the 15 from here. So that puts us at 55. So from here, it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 55, and boom, we're here, right? So if this was a juke, that's how you would add it up. It's just, addition there. Now, when it gets complicated, of course, is when we're talking about instead effects. So in 2022, and there was a few, I think maybe in 2021, but 2022 for sure, there was a lot of effects that say if the play would gain, X amount of yards, it gains X instead. So Antonio Brown's a prime example. One of the only ones on offense that has this type of ability. It says, and also Superstar Kelsey of 2021. Kelsey says if you would gain less than 25 yards, it's 25 yards instead. The word instead is what you're looking for here. So if the play would gain 20 or fewer yards, it gains 40 instead. So how this would work if we were to, let's say, play short pass 15, okay? This is a short pass for 15. So if I were to go short pass for 15, right? Player designation, we're going to do A.J. Brown and we're going to do Denzel Ward, okay? Now, we're gonna check. So we check all yardage. It's 15 plus our Russell Wilson 10. That makes it 25 minus 15 from Denzel Ward, right? Brings it back down to 10. And then A.J. Brown checks and says we are less than 20. So then we'll go 40 yards. So then 10, 20, 30, 40, bam, there's the result of the play. Okay. So that is scenario number 2. Also, in another case scenario with like Patrick Surtain. Patrick Surtain says tackle, the play gains 0 yards instead of yards gained or lost on the play, and then you set the down marker back 1. So in this case, if we were to do this play again, sharpen focus or speed kills Noah Fant into this, and Patrick Surtain is my tackle. We go minus 10, add it up, which we doubled this, is 80, 90, 100 yards. Tackling with Surtain and Noah Fant receiving. We've added it all up, and at the end of this play, it gains 0 yards instead. So instead of going 100 and getting a touchdown, I'll go 0. I will get the down back, but I will not go anywhere. I'll stay right here. So in that scenario, that's what happens. Now let's take a look at it again. If we were to do the same thing with Patrick Surtain and A.J. Brown, do the same thing, 15, 10, you're looking at 25 here. A.J. Brown is designated, Surtain is designated to tackle. So what happens in this scenario is that these two are replacement trigger effects at the end of the play. Now, offenses always triggers theirs first, just like in any part of the timing point. So what's going to happen here is this is going to check to show we're going 15 yards, right? 25 yards, sorry, 25 yards, right? Patrick Surtain is going to trigger, right? And Noah Brown or AJ Brown in this scenario would not trigger because at the timing point, he's seeing that it's 25 yards. So in this particular case, 25 yards, AJ Brown will not trigger, Surtain will trigger. At the end of this play, we will go 0 yards. Now, let's take this off the table. Okay. And let's say it's just this. At this point, it's only 15 yards. So now, once adding everything up, AJ Brown will trigger, showing that it's under, and he'll create a layered effect, putting him on the stack first, and then, because offense goes first, then Patrick Surtain will trigger, putting him on the stack next. So what will happen in this scenario is Patrick Surtain will trigger, making it 0 yards. Resolve, AJ Brown will check, showing that we're going 0 yards, and modify it back to 40. So then we will gain 10, 20, 30, and 40. So I know it's a little complicated. This is probably with some of the new additions to instead and doubling or even tripling yards, it kind of gets a little bit confusing than just straight, adding and subtracting things. We're now like multiplying and stuff like that. So, and then doing some instead abilities. But I will tell you guys that hopefully, this helps and gives you a little scenario about what to look for. And hopefully that helps clear up some of the confusion on some of those particular things. If it's a normal adding and subtracting, you add everything up first, defense subtracts from it, there's your total yards. If you're looking at, doing, like I said, instead effects, hopefully this helps you out with that there, and including actions and things that can be played, really only can be played during designation. So when you choose a designation, you have to play like this card, or during on-field adjustments, you play these cards. They don't have timing points, but you really want to check because this actually says your next successful play this drive. So when does a successful play check? You normally will check before when you reveal your play, and then during on-field adjustments is when it checks for successful. So when you get to player designation, you can't really speed kills, and it'll take the next play that you play, not that one, because it's already been successful. Same thing with this, the next successful play. So you got to watch out with these cards. Really, they have no timing point, but you really can only play them start of down, prior to selecting play, or on-field adjustments. You could play them during end of the play, end of down, or a player designation, but that's going to trigger for the very next play, not the current play you're in. So keep those in mind as well. Hopefully that helps you guys. Just want to make that quick video. Thank you so much for your time. You guys hopefully enjoy. Have a great night. Take care.